Hello, this is Cindy. Welcome to my channel, and today we are going to try making another one of these. Let me put it together and I'll open it up. So it goes flippy, 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 flippy. I did a video making these a while back, and I was planning to use this one, but I don't like it as much for this particular journal. So I have printed myself off a couple of digitals. These are from My Porch Prints, and I'm going to apologize right up front. I have a cold for the first time in about 4 years, and I'm sucking on a cough drop right now so that I don't. Oh my glory! So I printed it, and I did a misprint on one of them. It completely goofed me up, but it's not a big deal because you're not going to end up seeing this part. And I was cutting this just to make sure I knew what the heck I was doing, and I got it. So what I'm going to do now, because I want different sizes for these envelopes, this is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. As I said, the print comes from My Porch Print. I'm cutting this one in half because I want a couple of smaller journal cards. So I have to decide what part I want on the outside. I think I want this part to show. So I'm going to bring it up, and I don't know. It's an 8.5. So what did I just fold that at? I folded that at 3 1/4. And I'm really kind of making this up as I go along as far as measurements go, because I haven't done this in a while. I haven't made these since I made that last set. I've been using them up. So what I'm doing now, I folded it in like an envelope, and now I'm folding in the sides just a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to cut out the ends. Let me find my ends there. There we go. So I'm going to cut on the inside of the crease, and I only folded it in just a little bit, just enough to give it some basically some depth to the envelope, so my envelope is not too tight. I'm going up to the fold line, and I'm going to cut again at an angle, so that's going to fold in. Let me go ahead and cut, and so I'm cutting it so that I'm cutting the crease out, basically. There we go. And I will save these pieces because they'll be, you know, nice clusters or edges or something at some point here. Okay, I'm going to see where how far I'm going in here. There. Now, on this one, I did all of the edges, and I'm not going to do that yet on these. So that's going to go up like that, and then it's going to get attached here. Well, it's going to get attached at some point. It might not be attached right there. All right, we're going to do it again. Do I want the same one, or I think I want to put that side in this time, and we'll go with this side out. And because this is directional, and when I fold it over, I'm making sure that I leave enough room that I can actually get something in the pocket. Okay. They don't all have to be exact. And this is cardstock that I'm using for these because I want them to be sturdy. It might be too much. Nope, that's not straight at all. I'll try to get a straighter. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, how far up am I going? See, I bend it just a little bit so I can see how far up I need to go. So So I'm going up to my fold line, and I am doing that at an angle. Pull that out. Again, up to my fold line. Let me see where my fold line is. You do a couple of these, and after a while, it's like, okay, I get it. It's not hard. But it just takes a little bit of remembering to remember how to do it and which side of the line to cut on. And basically, you're cutting out the fold and making flaps that will fold in as a part of your envelope. Now, could you do this with pre-made envelopes? Absolutely. Okay, throw those up out of the way. All right, so now I have two small ones. I've not glued anything yet. I can use my piece here just to kind of keep them closed, which I think I will do. There. So I've got two small ones, and I have one big one. This one may be too big. No, it goes this way. Okay. There we go. Now we know what we're doing. All right. Now what I would like is a medium-sized one, and I have one more sheet of paper left here. I don't want it to be as wide as this one, so I'm going to take off, I'm only going to take off 1 inch. This is 8.5. I'm going to cut it down to 7.5. Yes. I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to cut off because I don't want it to be as wide either. So this is 8.5 by 11, so I'm going to come down to 10.5. I'm going to come down to 10. So I've taken an 8.5 sheet of paper and I brought it down to 10 by 7.5. I'm going to fold this part in. Okay. All right. We're going to see if this works. Yeah, my intent was to get double-sided all the way so that it would be printed nicely on the flaps. That did not work out quite as well as I wanted it to. I tried to feed too many pieces of paper through my printer at once. And as to the cold, it is not COVID. I tested yesterday. It is just a cold, a summer cold or a spring cold. My husband did in fact have COVID last week, which is why I tested. But so far, not COVID. So, just a case of a cold. But with all the vaccinations I've been doing, I really have not had a cold in about 4 years. It's been kind of nice. I get allergies on occasion, but no sickness. But it is what it is. Okay, put that one in. Let's get my little folder out here. And we'll get that nice and firmed up there. All right, we're done with the scissors. All right, now I have to remember how it goes together. Okay, so this one and this one go together. This one folds and is glued onto this one. And then, so let's go ahead and glue up the sides. And I'm going to just show you how I glue up the sides. I'm going to actually put the glue on the flappy part because I have more flap than I do card. All right, so I'm going to put that up. I'm going to put that up. We'll do that for all 4 of these. Put the glue here. And if you watch my, sorry if I'm crunching and you can hear it. I'm not good at getting to the end of a sucker or anything of that sort and not chewing it. There we go. I'll do the same on the 2 little ones that I made. I really like this paper. This is from My Porch Prints. I believe it might have been I don't remember if I paid for this or if this was a freebie. I'll try to find the link down below if I can, and I'll try and find the link and put it down below. That's what I'm trying to say. Now what this does, by putting the flaps in, oh, no, I don't want you there. Let's not seal it shut. But it gives the envelope a little bit more depth. So you've got a little more depth to the envelope. Okay. These 2 are good. Now, in these, I did different sizes because I used all different sorts of sheets of paper. So I had a small sheet of paper. I had a medium sheet of paper. I had another medium set of sheet of paper, and then I had a large sheet of paper. In this case, I have 1 large, 1 medium, and 2 smalls, and I'm okay with it at this point. Now, I'm going to attach this here. I want to attach it here. How far in do I want to attach it? I don't remember. Oh, I want to attach it right up to the bend. Right up to where it bends. Okay. So I'm going to add glue onto my flap. And then I'm going to nestle it in there. Close that over. And now I have a flappy flap. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with these 2, right? I keep going back to my original one. I've got another one, but I just want to make sure. Okay, yes. So I'm going to glue these 2 together, but because of they're exactly the same size, did I make one a little bit? This one's a little bit smaller, so let's glue this one here. So I'm going to glue that, and I'm not putting glue quite all the way down because it's going to stick out just a little bit. See how it sticks out a little bit? So I'm okay with that. Okay, now I want to put them together. Ha! Okay, so this flap now gets attached to this. So that when I flap them, that flaps. Okay, hang on. So when I flap them, and we flap that in, this in, this in, and this in. Okay, in order for that to happen, I need to attach it right here. Okay. I'm probably going too far. Actually, I think I will go up a little bit on this. So I want to attach it right there. Now, I don't think I have enough, but that lets me know where I need to put more glue. Okay. Okay, so now I have a flap, I have a flap, I have a flap, and I have a flap. So I have my flaps all there. Where's my glue top? Now what I want to do, okay. So that ended up being upside down. I didn't think that one through very much. That one's upside down, but these are all, they're all upside down. So maybe we flap it this way. We flap, and we flap, and we flap, and we flap. Now we're okay. Okay, so now what I want to do is cover this. And I have a sheet of vellum, but I don't want to do it with the vellum. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and what I did was simply print myself out another piece, and I did this on just plain regular computer paper. So I want to measure here to see how big this is. This is not 10 inches. It is, how big is my flap? I'm sorry, I have to do it this way. So I've got 3 and, I'm going to go 3 3/4. I'm going to take a section here that is 3 3/4. In width, and I'll set that aside because that'll end up being used for something else. Knocking things over here. And then I think it's going to be easier to do it this way. Okay, I just need a pencil. I want to cut it right there. Okay. Again, another piece that will get used later on. Okay. Now, making sure I'm all facing the right, because this is diagonal or directional. So I'm going to go ahead and I cut it too small. Well, that's all right. You know what I'm going to do? I can come in here and cut that like that. And then I'm going to take the same and do the same on the other side. I'm just taking that piece and flipping it over, and I'm going to cut it just like that. There. Now I can put that on there without having to worry about it, and since this is all going to get attached, I just want to make sure everything's going to, before I glue anything down, that everything's going to match. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Okay, let me grab my glue book, set that aside for a moment. And I am using Fabri-Tac for this, and I'm going to put all my Fabri-Tac right on here. Hang on, get that paper off of there. Okay. I'm going to cover all of this over. Now, if I had used different sizes, of course, it would probably line up. Make sure I've got that facing up the right way. Bring that down a little bit. Okay, So that's what the back end looks like, but that's okay because this is going in as a page. So let me move that out of the way now and grab the journal itself. I already know what page it's going on. I don't know if I'm going to keep that piece in. I might swap it out for something else because, in fact, let's go ahead and swap it out at the moment, because what I want to do is put this right here. Or do I want it here? I'm changing my mind. Changing my mind. I think I want to put this in the back. How far back do I want to go? Do I want to go there? Do I want to go here? Here's where I would have... I don't want it on there. I think I want it on the... Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up so I don't get the wrong thing. And I want to just put my glue, which is glopping all over the place, on the outside here. Anything that's going to touch the page is getting glue. I've got glue on my finger. Okay, I've lined it up. What's nice about having the grid here is that I can... Now, did I do it wrong? No, I'm right. I just have them folded in here wrong. There we go. So now all I have to do, and because these pages are so decorated already, I'm not probably going to add much to them. I'm going to leave them as they are. And I like I said, I don't know if I like that piece there or not. I haven't decided. What if I do it this way? I kind of like that. Okay, let's take a peek. See what we've got. So we have that page. We flip. We have this page. And now we have flip, 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 flip. Yeah, I like how that came out. All right, if you're enjoying these videos, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the like button to let YouTube know that you like them. And on this Maker Monday, we made a, what do we call this? A flip, 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 flip. An envelope flip. I will link the video down below of when I did this and explained it in a little bit more detail and a little better than what I think I explained it today because of my cold. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, hit that subscribe button, click the like button, click the bell for notifications. This is Cindy signing off.